Well, that's definitely something we'll have to get into. Let me see. We'll save this as Reason Tips 2026. Reason Tips 2026. I will look into that. I will look into that external. I'll look into that external setup situation so I can get you a better answer um, in terms of what you can do for that external device. To tell you the truth, yeah, like that's one of the things people would ask me. I've had that question a couple different times in terms of how you can sync those things, but it's like I don't use external MIDI devices. I just haven't. I just use internal MIDI, whatever's coming already from Reason. So hard to answer that question, but I hope that you guys got something out of this video, out of this, opening tutorial session. I had a little bit of time, so I want to use that time and get on here, get on live. It's been a minute before I've been able to get on live, but, want to get on live and talk to y'all for a minute. The new year's coming. More than likely or not, if I have time, it will be happening on Saturdays or Sundays. Getting on a live stream will be Saturdays or Sundays. Just a lot of work happening, and not a lot of time for making music. But it's always still my favorite thing to do is to just sit down at a piano and to just play, Just sit down and just play. So I'm definitely working to try to get more time to be able to do that. But tell you the truth, it's looking like it's going to be less and less time to do that. Just on a personal note, as we get ready to close out the live stream, I'm getting ready to have another little kid, you know what I'm saying? Getting ready to be dad number 2. And I think dad of 1 was already kind of daunting task. And I was like, wow, everything's going to change. Everything's going to be different now. And sure enough, it was. But to been, got my bearings a little bit with my son, being a dad. He's 2, he'll be 3 in March. And being with him for 2 years kind of got my bearings. And then wifey was like, boom, number 2 is on the way. So it's going to be get your bearings again time, you know what I'm saying? But I see that from YouTube, YouTube was always like a big goal for me in terms of, having a YouTube channel and, creating content and stuff like that. That was always a very big, that was a very big thing that I wanted to do. And I'm just glad and thankful I've been able to do it. And I'm so close now, so close to hitting a personal goal, which was 10,000 subscribers. So, when you start YouTube and you start your YouTube journey, you basically are just working to add zeros. Yo, a dad of 4, congratulations to you, Mo. You just working, how do I get that 1 subscriber? That's not me or my wife or my mom. How do I get those 10 subscribers? That's also not my dad and best friends and uncles and aunties. And then it's like, how do we get those 100 subscribers? Okay, because I don't think I know 100 people in my contact list that could, subscribe to me. So then it becomes from the 100, how do you get to 1,000? And then from 1,000, you really just want to hit, I think it's 4. No. It's just 1,000 subscribers. Because at 1,000 subscribers, you can monetize. You can turn on the ads. They're going to turn on the ads regardless. It's just whether or not they're going to pay you for the ads. But at 1,000, you can turn on the ads. And dang, he said he had twins. That's a blessing, dog. Congrats to you, bro. Father of 4. Just looking at the journey. You get 10, 100, 1,000. Then it kind of like took off a little bit. Got some notoriety from Reason. 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5. I mean, it's kind of crazy. Almost 10,000 people watching. So it's just, important to look at that journey and to give back content, to create content, push back content to show people, hey, we still doing things, we still working, we still creating, and hopefully still helping people to be able to create as well. So I'm excited. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited. It's the new year coming up. 2026 will be a year of just newness, just a lot of new things, new experiences. I think it's going to be a new lifestyle, a new way of life. We got to set new goals. 2020, I know what was going on 2020, but that was the time for setting goals. It was all of this 2020 vision and looking ahead. And, I remember I even preached a sermon. I was talking about vision. I said, you have foresight, you have hindsight, and it was foresight, hindsight, and something else, just regular sight. And the idea was like, in hindsight, everybody knows what they can do better. I know what I could have did better. I could have did this. Looking back, I could have did this, could have did that. So what you do with the hindsight is you apply it to now. Don't spend too much time looking back, because hindsight is 2020. So don't spend too much time looking back. You got to apply it. And then foresight, that's that ability to look forward, to look forward and say, this is what things are going to look like in the future. Or, you plan for things to look a certain way in the future. So that foresight is important, because you're planning ahead, or you're thinking ahead in order so that you can be ready for what's to come. We really can never be ready. It's always a mystery. But you could say for sure, if I buy a new keyboard, I'm going to use the new keyboard, right? That kind of thing. It's like, okay, how do you put that into your music, into your life, into your goals? So you use your hindsight, think about your foresight, and then you have a clear vision of where you want to go and what you want to do. It's very easy now to look back and see my goals and say, well, maybe my goals from 2020 for the next 5 years, maybe I accomplished some goals, and there were some goals that got left on the table, and some goals were too small, and maybe some goals were too big. So now it's like reassessing as we go into this next year. It sets us up for the next 5 years though. So it's not, 2026, it's 2030. What is 2030 going to look like? I'll have a kid in elementary school, right? Maybe a second kid on the way to elementary school. So now it's setting up for that. That's the key point. So it's about setting goals. 2020, we had a goal to hit this number that we're about to hit. And we might hit it right before 2026, or we might hit it the first week of 2026. But I would say that that's an accomplished goal. We hit 10,000 subscribers. Some people hit it a lot faster than others, For some people, 10,000, true, they trying to get that the first week they start YouTube. They trying to get that from the first video. And for some people that does happen, and more power to them and blessings to them. But it's just dope, man. DL, what's up, DL? I'm doing okay. I could be doing better, but I'm blessed where I am. So I'm glad for it. And just as we have before, we'll let the Lord determine it. I'm a strong believer in my faith, and what God has for me is for me, and what He has for you is for you. So I went from saying maybe I might not ever have any kids. I didn't know that was you in that email. DL. Now that I know that was you in that email, I'll respond to you. I was looking like I know I've seen his name before. But back to what I'm saying as I get ready to close out the stream. Now is the time to start planning ahead. Set up some goals. Get your vision into the place of where you want to be and where you want things to take you. That goes for your music. That goes for life. Goes for whatever you can think of that's important to you. Now is the time to kind of start setting up for that. And then there might need to be a time of reflection to say, this is where I am now, and this is where I want to be. So now is the time to kind of move into that space. I also just want to say thank you all. I don't think I'll be doing another live stream or anything else for the rest of the year. We got, 2 more days. So I appreciate you for being with me all the way to this point, for joining the live streams, for having your questions, for the support that you guys have given. The community that we've built is awesome. And I know that you guys deserve more. You deserve better. So each day it's amazing how many people reach out and still kind of get connected and are learning things from videos that I produced 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago. And it's great to see that it's still helping some people. So I'm looking into the future, I'm hopeful that we'll continue to be able to do it here on this channel. So I thank you guys. I appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's not too late, DL. It's not too late, man. Get that chord sequencer. I might have to go. I'm going to go get me some tea right now. And I think I'm going to call a good friend of mine and leech off of his wisdom and use his wisdom to help me, use his wisdom to help me. So I thank y'all for joining the live stream just one more time. And I'll end by saying this. God loves you, and I do too. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, Happy New Year. Peace.